Hi, I'm Mike McKee. I'm the State Director for Science Olympiad for Florida, and I'd like to thank you for helping out at the Science Olympiad State Tournament that is on March 19th at the University of Central Florida. The video that you're going to see is broken up into several parts, so that you only need to watch the parts that are relevant to you. So let's go ahead and get started with this part. This part everybody's going to watch, and then we're going to have a part on lab and research-based events, engineering events, and then finally scoring. So for those of you who are not familiar with Science Olympiad is a competition for elementary, middle, and high school students, and it was started in 1983 by Gerard Putz and Jack Cairns. And it's designed to recognize students in the same way that students are recognized in sporting competitions. So it's a team-based event with teams of 15 competing, and we have regional, state, and national competitions. And then students are awarded medals and trophies for their participation, and for not just participation, but for their ability to achieve high results in 23 different events. So they're in almost all the states right now, and we've got about 7,000 teams that compete nationally. Again, there are 15 students that are led by a coach. They qualify to come to the state by performance at a regional competition. So only the top teams from the regions are able to make it to state. We've got 7 regionals that are held in January and February. Then March we held ours, and then in May 4 teams, 2 from middle school and 2 from high school, go on to nationals, which this year is at the University of Wisconsin up in Menominee, which is University of Wisconsin Stout. There are 23 different events. And so those 23 different events for middle school are listed here. And the ones that are in bold are engineering pre-build type of events. So these are ones that they build ahead of time. There are others that are lab-based events, such as Crave the Wave, Crime Busters, and then others which are research-based events, Disease Detectives, Dynamic Planet. So you see it runs the spectrum here of the type of event that students will do. And this year in middle school, we're going to do a trial event, which don't count toward the team totals. And by the way, we accumulate points across all these events, and then the team with the overall lowest number of points are first place, and then the second place team also gets to go on to the national tournament. Same thing with high school. There's quite a bit of overlap, but there's ones that are unique to them, such as protein modeling, It's About Time, electric vehicles unique to them, others which are overlap like experimental design, fossils. So when you're preparing for your event, make sure you get a copy of the rules that are online at the Florida Science Olympiad website, and I have sent links to the specific location where the rules are stored. The rules change from year to year, so make sure that you read through those, and anything in the rules that is bolded will be a change. I'll talk about that in a second. The rules are complex. Make sure you also understand how the scoring criteria works. The students will have gone through these in a very deep way, so make sure that whatever activity you write, if you're doing a lab or research-based event, that you have prepared it according to the rules and according to the rules for this year, and stick closely to it. We have had problems in the past where an event is written, like for example anatomy and physiology, where there was a body system that was not in the rules that was then tested during the competition. So that causes problems for us. So make sure you really go through those rules in a very clear and careful way. So here's an example of a printout of the rules. Anything that's in bold here is just indicating it's a change from previous years. So like the students may and only, that's not designed for emphasis, it's changed from last year. Anything that is allowed for the teams to be brought in is highlighted. If it's may, then of course they may bring it in. They do not have to. Things that are required will say must or will before it, And then anything that the supervisor, which is you, uh, or the person who's in charge of the event as a supervisor, because again, we've got a supervisor and we also have an assistant. So the supervisor is the person that's in charge of this event, who will be bringing along the supplies, who will be writing the lab or the test. For the engineering events, we'll bring the materials so that the students can run the event and test their device. That's what the supervisor will be doing. I do not provide that unless you specifically request something to be provided, such as a test stand or a bottle rocket launcher. But you still need to request that, because I'm going to assume that you'll have those items. But if it's supervisor provided, that'll be listed. Supervisor will provide, and here's the following items. And then pay attention to the scoring. So these sections will define how the scoring is to occur. Now, if you're doing forensics, beware that this is from a few years ago. So if you're looking at this, be aware, again, that it may not be up to date. If you do need copies of your handouts, your printouts, I need those to me by March 11th, 2016. So that is going to be next Friday. So it's Friday the 16th. There's other resources that are available that can be found on the national website, so you might want to take a look at that. But do get me everything that you need real soon if you want me to make printouts.